Hey, I should actually change my channel's name to Bollocks. Here's a classic example of woolly thinking, bad science.
The extraterrestrial beings observed our development and deployment of atomic bombs, which instantly propelled humanity to the status of a significant cosmic threat. By comprehensively exploring the correlation between nuclear weapons testing and the subsequent increase in UFO activity, these experts shed light on the profound impact our atomic capabilities had on the intergalactic community. There has been a significant increase in activity over the past few decades. He suggested that his surge in activity shows that aliens are genuinely concerned about our tendency to utilize this destructive weapon repeatedly, as it has the potential to disrupt the delicate balance of the entire cosmos. This apprehension stems from their fear of the consequences that such actions may have on the overall equilibrium of celestial entities.
Hey everybody, this is very interesting. So I'm in the middle of editing a film for you. I got a call from the Daily Mail who are interested to ask the question that a lot of people have been asking is, why isn't the United Kingdom doing the same kind of research into crashed flying saucers, into UFOs and object recovery, as the United States is maybe doing badly? After the disclosure from the whistleblower David Grush, who is claiming that there are crashed flying saucers with pilots on board and definitely material from extraterrestrial or highly strange craft, he says, in the possession of the United States. So why isn't the UK also investigating exotic crash recovered material? I replied to the journalist and actually quoted a report by the British Ministry of Defence called the Conine Report that was written in the early 2000s by Dr. Ron Haddow. And that might be the answer. The Conine Report was written to close the book on UFOs. There's been lots of sightings over decades, and the MOD was just fed up and maybe didn't have enough money to keep on investigating everything. So they had this doctor of physics look at all the past reports and draw conclusions. And Haddow's big conclusion is they're real, which is fascinating, but they're also not a threat to UK national security. He slightly speculated in his conclusions of what UAP might be. Personally, what I think he's saying is a clue to what Britain has actually been researching into advanced physics: plasma. But the idea of the Conine Report is when pesky MPs ask questions about flying saucers in the House of Parliament or in the Upper House, the Minister of Defence can now go to the MOD. They refer to the summary of their findings over decades and give the Minister an answer to reply to his MP in the House. The Conine Report is intentionally very comprehensive. It hopefully has answers to any possible question based on past sightings. Now, things might have changed since it was written in the early 2000s, but I think it is a good summary, and it is still being used today as the reference for answering ministerial questions to the House. I really like it. It was unbelievably brilliant that Dr. David Clarke of Sheffield Hallam University managed to get it declassified and put into the public domain. Contained in the Conine Report are gems. One quick story: retired US Air Force John Burroughs actually got his claim approved in America by the VA, the Veterans Association, because of the Conine Report. Mainly after years of denial that anything actually happened at Rendlesham Forest, the Conine Report discusses injuries in Suffolk at Bentwaters and Woodbridge Twin Bases, Rendlesham Forest incident. And as soon as John Burroughs discovered that in the now declassified report, he used that as evidence and his case was immediately settled. Before that, the US Air Force and the US Department of Defense just classified anything that he did, even denying that he was in the US Air Force, I believe, in my humble opinion. But as soon as Rendlesham Forest incident, RFI, was mentioned by the British MOD, the American DOD settled his case. So I use the Conine Report as a reference because I think it contains many secrets. So that's not what this film was going to be about. It was going to be about me saying bollocks a lot to the fact that a lot of people believe that there's more flying saucers over nuclear facilities. And the Conine Report addresses that. And I wanted to redress that balance and look at what Ron Haddo actually said about how many things are seen over nuclear weapons storage, atomic power stations and things. Is there a correlation between UFOs, aliens, supposedly protecting the human race from our foibles of messing around with the atom? I've never really thought that. I don't think aliens care that much about us and our future. So that's all I wanted to do for you, is to redress that balance and actually come up with a new idea of my own, which you'll see in the film. But that's not what happened. When I was researching the nuclear debate for you with UFOs, I discovered that in the Conine Report, which would be exactly where you would go if you were the MOD to look up an answer for the Minister of Defense, the Conine Report actually answers about crashed flying saucers with bodies and material recovery and says they don't exist. That, I believe, is the basis of today's 2023's reason why the UK isn't doing the same kind of possible research that the US is maybe looking into. Personally, I don't really think they are doing it. I think that they think David Grush is making a more of a political statement about transparency of government. I don't think there's any evidence that there are crash recovered UFOs, the size of football fields in underground hangars with bodies. I think that's irrelevant. I think even David Grush, although he might well have seen documents that imply that, is part of, in my opinion, a cabal or an organization who want disclosure. The whole term disclosure is actually a political phrase. Let's not forget, the people who are wanting disclosure are wanting disclosure from the very people who are invented the rules of secrecy. The military, the government, the two people who are hiding legally behind a way of not disclosing stuff. In my opinion, forcing your government, the military, to disclose their secrets when they've already got legal framework to not disclose the secrets is a terrible idea. How we get to the bottom of what's really out there is science. Real openness, global science. Lots of countries sharing their information about what they have seen in the sky, because there is strange stuff out there which we need to understand better. So here's the film. It started off with me wanting to shout bollocks a lot about UFOs seen over nuclear establishments, but delving deep into the Conine Report. That's such a media phrase. But delving deep underground, at least 1 foot. No, but delving deep, but digging deep. I'm such a media hack. Into the Conine Report. It reveals why Britain isn't looking for crashed UFOs. So my question to you today is, do you think there's a correlation between aliens visiting planet Earth and humans experimenting with atomic weapons? I don't, because I don't think aliens are that interested in our use of atomic power. I think there's a much better reason why more UFOs, or highly strange, are seen over nuclear facilities. The British MOD looked into this. Dr. Ron Haddo, who wrote the Conine Report for the Ministry of Defense, wanted to answer the question, why are more UFOs seen over nuclear facilities? And that is the case. But think about it. Every nuclear facility, either a weapons storage or a nuclear processing plant or anything to do with nuclear power station, has a no-fly zone over it, and there are eyes on the sky looking for Cessnas or stray aircraft going into their zone. It's far more likely that eyes in the sky looking up over nuclear facilities spots the highly strange, rather than eyes in the sky over McDonald's spotting the highly strange, although that could be possible. So that was the conclusion of the British report. More people are looking and they saw more stuff. But I have another take on this, and that goes back to the word bollocks? No, not really. It goes back to the weaponization of physics. Is it possible that what more eyes in the skies are seeing are not flying saucers, but human-made advanced physics? The very fact that there's more flying saucers, there's more UFOs, there's more UAP seen today could be because what we're seeing is man-made craft or experiments in the ionosphere, which totally makes sense if you look at the dates. Now, I'm sounding like a classic debunker, not believing in UFOs. That's not the case. I believe in the highly strange. But the science I demand has to look behind the curtain of weaponization, has to look before Sputnik was launched. Not made by humans and not spotted by humans above a nuclear store. When the highly strange does occur, it looks like nothing that you've ever seen before. Let's not confuse what humans have made in the sky and are trying to keep dark behind the curtain so we can focus down on what's left. The highly strange that is out there. So this is an extract from the Conine Report about UFOs seen over nuclear establishments and would form the guideline of what the Minister of Defence would answer to a parliamentary question. Army assets or RAF or Naval HQ or special assets, in particular nuclear, such as Faslane, Aldermaston, Capenhurst. A UAP at Devonport was reported twice, but no particular significance can be attributed to this. The fact that UAP are seen at all at some service locations is undoubtedly because they are manned 24 hours a day with staff who are likely to be observant by virtue of their normal tasks. The Conine Report is very long. Not many people read it all. But while searching today for you for interesting stuff, I came across this: metallic artifacts. Although no such artifacts have been found in the UK ADR, it is claimed in Russia and Ukraine that items have been scientifically analysed. The results are not known. The Russians, like the USA, have never produced the artifacts which are claimed by some media reports to have been found. This seems to be quite extraordinary in view of the fact that it would be reasonable to expect that this might solve the extraterrestrial hypothesis of UFO origins once and for all. It is a fact that some materials have entered the Earth's atmosphere as a result of meteor activity and have survived to impact. Analysis has shown nothing to connect these with any type of flying vehicle or threat. Ministry of Defence does not hold any such material. No reliable report exists of a landing and takeoff of an object known to contain beings. No spacecraft or occupants can be seen anywhere on Earth, and not even small artifacts have been left on Earth to confirm the existence of a spacecraft in the form of metals or other materials. None have apparently ever crashed, despite sighting reports for thousands of years. So does the British Ministry of Defence put an end to what David Grush is saying? I think it's open to debate, but I think they make a very good point. Evidence of crashed alien material would settle the extraterrestrial argument forever, if it exists. So just like you, I wait with bated breath to get firm scientific proof that what David Grush and others are saying is true. Because at present, the truth is still out there. I hope you found that really interesting. It was a bit thrown together in the edit because I had two stories. The nuclear and the David Grush, and of course, all held together with the Conine Report. But I have big, exciting news for you viewers. The eagle-eyed amongst you might have spotted I'm now being sponsored, proudly sponsored, by Artlist. They reached out to me because of you, the viewers, to offer me an unlimited supply of very interesting stock shots that I can use in my films. I'm super excited. I'm easily excited. Filmmaking is very expensive, and having an excellent, high quality 4K stock shot library is brilliant. So reach out to Artlist to show them some appreciation and say thanks from me. But if you're a filmmaker for social media, Artlist might be your answer, your dream come true. In the description is a link to how you can sign up with various plans and a discount. So thank you, Artlist, from me and my viewers. The quality of your images is really going to raise the bar of this channel to make things more accessible, to illustrate the unillustratable. That's what us filmmakers really want. Go and show them some love. And if you found this film and my channel, which is growing with sponsorship and interesting stories relevant to you, please on YouTube share it, subscribe for more, and totally free of charge, give this film a thumbs up if you think I'm raising and discussing some of the tricky and difficult issues that interest you. Thanks for watching.